Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the On Second Thought Sports Show on the Mental Condition and Sports Podcast. I got it right. So, but because I got it right because I'm super excited today. We have, an extra edition, a special guest. He's been faithfully watching the show. We get to him in a second, but I'm excited to be able to be here for another exciting week. It's been a big week in sports. We got a lot to cover. Me and Aaron got into it big time as the show ended last week, if you saw that, and we're not going to stop. We're going to finish that off right now as we get into the show today. But let's do what we do with a little extra twist today as we will go around the table and introduce ourselves. My name is Elliot. I'm Dad.
Isaiah.
Aaron.
And our special guest today is
Matt.
Matt's definitely, you know what I mean, a friend of the family, a friend to the room, a young, up-and-coming, inspiring young man. We're looking for him to have his podcast in the very near future. So we're putting the pressure on him right here. But he's also a guy that, listen, you know what, when we get it on, after boxing matches, he's on the phone with us a lot of times, putting in his input. And I must say, I don't respect a whole lot of people and what they have to say about sports, certainly about boxing, but I do respect what this young man, some of his opinions. So we look forward and we're excited to have you here today. So let's without further ado, let's finish off. What we got on the table.
I told you, I'm
We
gonna kill you this episode.
We starting with boxing.
So we're gonna start off. Yeah, we're gonna start off with boxing. Boxing is a little slow in terms of the actual fights, but we got some stuff to kind of put on the table. Some big stuff to put on the table.
First and foremost, for starting with boxing, we all gotta bow our heads, rest in peace to George Foreman.
Yes.
He died, I think, yesterday, maybe a couple days ago. His family said he went out peacefully, so I'm hoping that it was just in his sleep and he didn't suffer. So, rest in peace.
Certainly. For me, George Foreman is just a monumental figure in the sport, not only in the ring, but also out of the ring. George Foreman is just, I can remember my days of going to boxing, and one of the things that was so profound to me was just seeing George Foreman doing the HBO commentary and just located him like, it's Big George. And then, my dad and my brother, so it was always big to be able to see him, larger than life figure. He was one of those guys that, frankly, you never thought that he would leave this earth. But again, rest in peace to him, and we give him a one count bell. Rest in peace, George Foreman. What he would want us to do is to get it on and for me to crush Aaron. In terms of talking a little bit about this Devin Haney versus Tank Davis. We talked about that last week. It kind of came up. I'm gracious enough to give you the floor first.
All right. So I don't know what you was talking about. I don't know why you kind of reacted when I said that Tank wouldn't beat Devin as easily, based off his last performance. Because I feel like you've been dumping on Devin a little bit as of lately, since you've seen it. Mm-hmm. We were in the car. You talking about you think Ryan is honestly going to beat him again in the rematch?
Yes, I
do. I think so too.
I do.
I just don't. I don't feel like you can make that opinion so strongly. I just feel like you've been dumping on Haney a little lately, and it's not going to be an easy fight for Tank. That's all I got to say.
So first and foremost, let's get to it. Let's get it right. Devin Haney is my guy. If you go to Mental Condition and Sports page in which I write my articles, he's the first young boxing star that I highlighted. So let's put that to bed. He's a guy that I've been following his career since very, very early. He's one of my favorite young fighters, but I got to call it like it is. And, I've been a little bit disappointed in some of his recent performances. I mean, you guys are the ones that say you thought he lost to Lomachenko. So certainly,
definitely he lost to Lomachenko.
So you guys, everybody shaking their head on that one. I thought that was a close fight, but I didn't necessarily say he lost, but close fight. There's nothing that's indicating to me, and one of the big concerns for me with him is his chin. I mean, I'm not happy with that. He got totally thrashed there by Ryan Garcia. Every time Ryan Garcia hit him, it clearly was affecting him. Tank, in my opinion, I mean, we can go around the table on this one. I think that Tank, 135, 140, is definitely one of the hardest punchers, in those divisions. So you're talking about one of the hardest punchers against, I hate to say it, I love the guy, but one of the softest chins out of those top guys. It looks to me like a recipe for a problem.
Yeah, I understand that, but Tank, he fights his way. We all know that Tank sets you up for something big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Devin Haney will not make that mistake. He will not give Tank that opportunity. If you think Lamont Roach was able to go 12 and not give him an opportunity to do that, Devin Haney is doing that easily. So I don't think he's getting clipped by Tank at all.
That's fear. But the only issue that I have with what you're saying, if we go back and watch again, and you didn't like it, but if you go back and watch the tape of Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, again, I'm shocked by this and I'm disappointed by this. But the man couldn't stop the left hook. Everybody know the left hook was coming, and he just couldn't stop it. That's to me, even more so than the chin. That was the most disappointing thing for me in watching that fight, is that he repeatedly got hit with the same punch over and over and over again. And so Tank, I don't see Tank having trouble hitting him.
I mean, you could say that, but based off all his last performances, you're gonna tell me that one performance is gonna make you think that he can't be Tank.
I'm gonna have to pick Tank at this time.
Well, aren't you doing the same thing for Tank? You said based off Tank's last performance, he's not gonna be Haney.
That's a good point.
Okay,
Okay, wait. Okay,
You said the same thing.
Wait. Now they both had. Well, Tank won his fight, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't look like Tank.
In the fight with who?
Roach.
Lamar.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that Devin's gonna outbox Tank. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
I don't know about that.
You don't think Devin Haney's out?
He
Absolutely.
should, bro.
Are you serious?
He should. Let's go around. Who do you got? Tank?
I take Tank. Tank's gonna win. I think Haney is a more skillful boxer than Tank, but Tank is just so lethal that he's like very all around. A lot of these guys that like to press up on Tank, they end up getting knocked out because he hits you with this counter punches and everything like that. But Tank ain't afraid to press up on somebody if they're not doing anything.
Yeah, I agree.
And then that's another problem because Tank gonna set you up a different way. What you mean?
Okay, so you're gonna tell me in his Lamar fight? I wasn't there. I wasn't there for the early rounds when you said there was nothing going on.
Yes.
Did he start pressing up on him?
Did Tank press Lamont Roach? He did not.
Lamont Roach was the aggressor
Did not.
the whole
But
fight.
Look.
I'm just saying from your statement.
Let me get.
But I
Matt.
was saying, okay, no.
Who you think? Who you got for that? Who do you see winning that fight?
I personally have Tank. I'm surprised none of you guys have mentioned this, but I think confidence goes a long way.
Excellent point.
When you take Devin Haney coming off that performance with Ryan Garcia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent
I
point.
mean, that's never happened to him before in his career.
Yes.
So I think his confidence is going to be very low going
Excellent.
into this fight. And you take someone like Tank, right, who's coming off this Roach fight with, in a sense, something to prove, right? Because
Totally.
now he's being second-guessed in a way.
I agree.
Right.
So I think I think Haney's confidence is low right now. And I think that'll be a big favor in Tank's favor.
I agree, and to speak to that, excellent point. And to speak to that, that's why it's imperative that he needs to get back into the ring with him immediately, because that's really, in my opinion,
Who, Dev?
yes,
Okay.
because that's the only thing that's going to really restore his confidence. Because I agree. Because let's be honest, he got his behind. And look, and I'm not. And you guys love to play. You're hating. I'm not hating. I love Devin Haney, but he got it handed to him.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Bad.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
true.
it's
Bad,
true, but,
bad. So for
what
him to
happened?
get over that, hey man, I don't know. I've seen guys never recover from a beating like that. So I'm concerned with that. As far as aggression, I agree. That's a misconception in my opinion about Tank. Tank is not an aggressive fighter. He is more of a cerebral fighter than people give him credit for. He does set you up like a cobra and take you out. But I'm just concerned because, again, Ryan Garcia, man, and Ryan and me and you got into this yesterday. Ryan Garcia he's not to me that technical, and the fact that he was just nailing this guy with left hands whenever he wanted to, it's just dangerous, man. I'm sorry, I have to pick Tank. I love Devin Haney, but I just have to pick Tank. That's all there is to it. I have to pick Tank.
I'm gonna get back to you later. You're talking about you think Gervonta Tank Davis is gonna outbox Devin Haney.
I didn't say that. Well, I
That's
didn't
what-
say
that's
that,
exactly
but I'll
what
take
you
it
said.
back. I take it back. I think Tank will outwork Haney's boxing. I think he'll find his way around it. That's what I mean to say.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it gets into a boxing matchup, straight boxing matchup, Haney will Tank will
10
run
out
out
of
of
12.
rounds. Yeah, Tank will run out of rounds. But again, the Tank is like a cobra setting guys up with shots. I just don't see Devin being able to get out of the way for 12 rounds. It's hard to do that. I don't know how the hell Roach did it, but he did. I don't right now. And I echo Matt's point, excellent point. I don't think he has the confidence to get through 12 rounds because if he get hit with anything, let's be honest, he's gonna crumble like a suitcase on a Friday morning. Let's be honest,
Yeah,
you know.
but
So
I'm telling you right
it's just
now,
the truth.
Haney is gonna come in. He's gonna whoop Ryan Garcia.
He's
Come on,
gonna-
my words. He's
I'm
going
not
to
gonna
whoop
let
Ryan
Well,
Garcia.
wait a
listen,
minute.
hold
You
on.
wait a minute. You got in the rematch. You got Devin beating Ryan Garcia for
Devin
sure.
Haney is gonna
listen,
take it
me and
personal.
Matt was talking about it today.
Who you got?
I got Ryan. I think Ryan's gonna get it.
Who you got?
Tank.
No, Ryan. versus
Ryan
Haney.
and Ryan.
Rematch. Rematch.
I'm gonna go Ryan.
I think Ryan get it.
Like I said, confidence. Right?
Yeah, I think Haney's gonna overthink
Yo,
everything with it, right?
Yo, like you
Sorry.
guys are
Yo,
really
mental
no,
conditioning.
I'm
no.
sorry.
You guys are really dumping on Devin Haney right now,
It's
and
not
I'm not.
that.
Yes,
It's
it
not
is.
that, bro.
No,
It's just-
no. Stop
Look
it.
at-
Stop it.
Bro,
Stop it.
hold on.
Let me explain something to you.
Hold on.
No, I'm talking. Let me say something. Devin Haney is going to take this loss personal. I'm telling you, he's going to take this loss personal.
He
He's
did
going
take
to
it
come in
personal.
there
He
and he's going
sued.
to whoop Ryan Garcia completely.
Well, let me give this last question, and we're gonna move on. But what did you see in that fight? Because that's what I look at. What did you see in that fight that's making you say he can beat Ryan? I didn't see nothing in that fight that would make me say
Take away the PEDs, he still got hit with as many
he
punches
did.
as he did.
And it felt like to me, whenever Ryan wanted to
Allegedly.
turn it on, he did.
He did.
And poor Dev had no
But
answer.
don't get me wrong, Haney did have some rounds in between where he was like, "Oh
when,
yeah."
When Ryan took
Listen.
off, it seemed like Ryan was like, "Let me take a time
But
out."
when Ryan got back, there was nothing Haney could have done.
Listen,
Does anybody in this room think that Ryan Garcia would beat Lomachenko? Or even compete?
Current Lomachenko?
you're killing me because
No.
That's an important question.
Come on.
Is it
Okay.
Loma right now?
I got Lomo to beat.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Lomachenko would
when
be-
Devin fought Loma,
Uh-huh.
if Ryan were to fight Loma at that same time period, whatever, like the same fight, it's just not Devin, it's Ryan. Does anybody think that Ryan is even competing with Lomachenko in that ring?
No.
Lomachenko would have beat Ryan.
So come on,
Wait,
come on.
I'm sorry to say this, but I guess I just finished watching again. I'm telling you right now, I hate to say it, I'm sorry, but Lomachenko is better than you giving him credit for. Ryan Garcia is a better fighter than you guys are giving him credit for. Ryan Garcia can fight, bro.
I'm not saying
He's
I'm
not a
not, I'm
bum.
saying I'm not saying I'm not giving him credit. I'm just saying he's not better than Devin Haney.
I'm not, bro.
He lost.
listen. Even though he lost, Haney's still the better fighter. Okay, but
That's not fair.
Just because of
That's
law.
not fair.
Yo,
we
like-
saw it. This ain't no situation where it was a bad decision. The guy, I'm sorry, Bill. I know Bill gonna call and cuss me out, Bill Haney. But
cease and desist.
look, the guy it wasn't a close fight. He got his behind kicked.
I'm telling you.
You can't say like, "Oh no, I didn't see that." We saw it. He got
Okay, I'm not
whipped.
denying that he got whooped, but I'm saying he can use this.
Listen.
Now he knows about this left hook and whatever Ryan Garcia does. Ryan Garcia is repetitive. He's so repetitive.
Listen,
in
we
his
said
fight style.
for Bivol versus Beterbiev when Bivol lost that he's gonna come back and be like, "Yo, I need this," but we said that solely because you really could have tossed it up.
Very close fight.
Anybody could have won the fight. So I know Bivol in his heart and soul really thought he won the fight. So when he coming back, he's like, "I bet, now I'm really gonna beat you." Haney showed me nothing that fight.
Gang, do you not think that Devin Haney sees people like him who claim to be his number, who claim to be on his side since day one, and now this guy is completely
What's he doing?
questioning him as a boxer.
Ryan, hold on. Ryan Garcia done made Haney practically retire from boxing.
Let me finish. He's completely questioning him as a boxer to be Ryan Garcia. Let's be honest. You don't think he sees that?
No.
Personally, if I was Devin Haney, I would not let anybody think that Ryan Garcia is better than me. I'm not saying that
I
Ryan
understand
Garcia
that.
isn't
I understand
good.
that.
But what I'm saying is, I'm telling you. I'm
Right,
telling you.
you understand what I'm trying to say?
All I'm saying is, listen, you gotta call it like you see it. And the guy got beat, man. Look, listen. Errol Spence is my guy, right? Thick and thin. Terrence Crawford beat him. He whooped him. That's all. The case closed. I can't. What else? I can't defend that.
No, we're not gonna get into.
No, I'm not trying to break that fight down. But he whooped Errol from pillar to post.
Can't do
I
that.
can't. There's nothing I can say to defend
you
him.
even claimed that he didn't want to fight no more.
I understand that,
But
but
you can't use that example.
No, but here's the deal. In talking about the fight, that's my personal feeling. That night I had 50 guys in my backyard, and they was giving it to me. Your guy lost. I didn't say nothing. I felt that immediately, but only thing we can go on is what we saw. and the man got his behind kicked. That's all you can do. When you get whipped like that, until you get back in the ring and prove I can overcome that fear or whatever the case may be, there's nothing I can really say. The guy got beat. Listen, and I'll jump back on the bandwagon when Devin does what you said he do.
No. You stay right with Ryan Garcia. You gonna stay with.
Let's.
What's the date today? What's the date?
22nd,
March.
23rd.
Mark it down. Just mark it down.
22nd.
No problem.
22nd.
Mark it down.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah,
Ryan Garcia.
We got a
Devin
pick.
Haney.
Yeah, we got a pick.
Perfect.
All right,
I'll take it.
All right, we got a pick.
I'll take it.
Let's move on to this. This is important. This is important boxing news. Again, Aaron's guy, Dana White, has been tapped to take over for the Sheik and do his thing with boxing. And then this week, I don't have my glasses on, but this week the pay scale came out. I think this is a very important fact because again, they're trying to roll this out for boxing. I don't think it's going to work. And then the number scale came out. I'll rip it off to you guys real quick. They're talking about $20,000 for a 10-round unranked fighter. 20 G's. $50,000 for a ranked fighter who's ranked between 5 and 10. $125,000 for somebody who's ranked 3 and 4. $375 for a guy challenging for the title, and $750,000 for the defending champion.
This is just guaranteed.
Yes.
But hold on, to start off with, what do you think about the entire new league, if you want to say?
So Isaiah and I spoke about this briefly before. My initial reaction was, I don't see this working.
Yes.
I think it's more of a league for fighters that we consider to be washed, right? Who are like at the
Yeah, I agree.
at the end tail of their career.
I agree.
But Isaiah did bring up a good point, and I'll let him bring that up. That I think this league might present new opportunities for upcoming fighters, though.
So I said from the start.
Explain
That's
that.
what
Then
we
he threw you underneath the bus, so
I mean, when we talked about it before, I said the same thing. Young fighters, this is a perfect opportunity for them. Boxing nowadays, I done listed off a whole bunch of guys to my boy Matt, and he's like, who are these people?
Yes.
I said Shushu Carrington. Bruce, he's a champ now, right?
Sorry, Shushu.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, look.
I'm saying, hold
Go
on.
ahead.
I'm saying this is a great opportunity for these guys to really compete. And this is going to get a lot of attention. Maybe not as much as boxing currently is right now, but like Aaron has always said, this is an investment. It's slowly going to get more and more. So these guys, why am I wasting my time, my body, my health, and I'm not going anywhere? I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting any type of love. I'm not in any conversations. I'm 15-0 and not even making the live show.
Okay.
So I'm saying this here could be a really, really good way for these young guys to A, get their name out there, and B, to fight best of the best.
Aaron, you want to add on to that before I go? Well, I mean, my concern is, you guys are right. It's an opportunity in both forms. It could be for an aging fighter to still get some cash in his pocket, and for a young fighter to still get some cash in his pocket. But the problem is just that boxing is so erratic with the purses. So now, if you got a young fighter like Shushu's a good example. I got it. Matt saying he don't know who that is, which is fine. A lot of people don't, so don't even feel bad. It's just the way that boxing is being promoted now. But the problem is just that boxing can go anywhere from your guy getting $5,000, no matter how many fights he has, to somebody come to him and be like, yo, bro, I'll give you $600,000 for this fight. So why am I going to lock myself into these numbers? I'm not even ranked, and I can get $600,000. That boy that just got knocked out, we love him, the heavyweight. What's his name?
Oh, Bacoli?
Bacoli got $500,000.
Bacoli's a big name.
He's not.
He's
He
a
doesn't
top
fall
name.
under this.
He's a top name.
He don't fall under this.
Nobody falls under that right now.
What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
If he falls under this, he's $20,000.
What's the $20,000 criteria?
He's a 10. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 50.
What's the
He's
$50,000?
he's ranked 5 to 10.
Okay.
$50,000. The guy got $500,000. Why would I do that? Why would I sign up to this league?
Okay, but what about these guys that don't get nothing?
That's fair.
Bacoli, obviously for people that watch boxing, is
Do you know who that is?
I don't.
See? Okay.
right. Yeah, all right. But I said for people that watch boxing. He's an exciting name. I mean, we seen him fight, and we were like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wanna see him fight more. I think he's fighting in a couple of months, to be honest with you.
He is. That's when he was supposed to fight.
That's when he's supposed to fight. So he's getting on these cards. I don't even know where he might be the co-main event or somewhere up there. He's getting on these cards. That's why I'm saying it's for the young guys.
How much is Unranked make?
Huh?
Unranked?
10,000?
20,000.
20,000?
20,000.
How much would they make in like?
That's the problem with boxing. It depends. It depends. When Lomachenko in his third fight was doing $1 million.
What?
That's what I'm telling you. I mean,
That's why it's
sometimes
hard.
you just gotta get lucky in
It's
boxing.
right.
dude.
It depends. You know what I mean? On how you're being promoted. You know, anything can happen. You know, in boxing. But if I'm locked into this, I'm screwed.
The hell?
Lomachenko,
Yeah.
look, I got 3 fights,
Mm-hmm.
and they let me fight on whatever, on Canelo's undercard. All of a sudden, for everybody's like, yo, you saw that kid Isaiah?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what that means for me?
What?
For 100,000. But I'm stuck here. $50,000? Come on. That's why it doesn't make sense to me that why would I lock myself into that when I know there's millions out there for me? It's hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're giving that money away like candy, but why would I lock myself into these numbers? I'm not going to do that. Matt, you got something?
I mean, why not just think of it as like, long-term investment?
This is boxing.
Explain that.
Long-term investment can get Devin Haney'd. I
Okay.
thought I was doing my thing, and I just got knocked out.
But Devin Haney's always gonna be a big name. He's
See,
always
stop
gonna
mentioning
get the big-
Devin
he's
Haney.
always
Devin
gonna
Haney
get
can
the
always
big
make a
name.
Stop
comeback.
mentioning. You're
He's
gonna
yeah,
get yourself in
always.
trouble because really,
Always.
like you were the guy who
Yeah.
introduced me to Devin Haney, and you gonna talk about him like that.
Listen, if the guy got knocked out, what are you gonna tell? What are you gonna do? The guy, listen, if you lock yourself into this company and you don't win, you're really in serious trouble. That's the thing. I just don't like I just think that the mindset of boxers, they're not locked into salaries, and to convince them to lock themselves into a pay scale like this, I just think it's going to be hard. I'm not saying that this is ridiculous because it is more guaranteed. You said that to me first. This is guaranteed money.
Right.
But to lock them into that after all these years, again, a boxer on any given day can strike the lottery. I've been making 50,000. All of a sudden, I got the right win at the right time, and I'm making $5 million. I just think that that's going to be a tough order for boxing to do. Last point on boxing, I saw Terrence Crawford the other day. This is interesting, and everybody at this table is in pretty decent shape. Aaron's in tremendous shape. He's putting on the weight. What are we thinking in terms of him being able to get into the ring for the very, very first time with the extra added pounds? Does anyone at the table think that that's going to be a problem on fight night?
Where's he going?
This is Canelo's first fight at
This
that
is
weight.
Canelo
That's a problem.
No,
That's a
no,
problem.
no.
You need a
He
tune-up.
has to go up to
Major.
175.
Is he crazy?
Coming from 154.
He's not beating this.
And again, with no practice to be able to. And I saw him. I think you guys saw him.
I saw the picture.
He looks bigger, no question. He looks like he's probably about 170 right now, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But do we think that that's going to be an issue on fight night for him to get in the ring for the first time?
Listen, tune-up or not, he's never beating Saul Canelo Alvarez. No way.
Okay.
Tune-up or not.
Fair. Oh, well, let me ask you one quick question. Are we talking about that in terms of his size, or are you seeing skill?
That's a good question. I'll give you that's a good
That's a
question.
great question.
So if Canelo were to go down to Terrence Crawford's weight,
No, forget about that because Canelo would lose if he had to do that because he'd be dehydrated and drained. So if let's just say they was able to, both guys are at their peak skills regardless of weight.
I mean, you
Canelo
can't deny
Yeah, Crawford's
Crawford's
some
skills,
skills, yes.
but I think Canelo was still.
I think
Is that
Canelo-
right?
I think Canelo was still wins.
Really? We all agree
Canelo
that?
takes-
I'm going to disagree with that one. I think
You
that Terrence
at the peak of their primes, you're on the road today.
Crazy.
Yeah,
You're crazy.
You're on the road.
I think Terrence Crawford beats. Oh boy, here we go. I think Terrence Crawford
Don't
is
you?
probably the most skillful fighter, pound for pound, in the world today.
don't think so.
In the world today.
Don't
Well, he said one of, not you said one of or the.
I'm going to say, I think he's the most skillful fighter in the world.
Nah, see, I can't get with you on that one.
Who you got more skillful than Terrence Crawford?
Bivol.
Who?
Bivol.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. No, I'm about to say no. I think
Yeah.
he can beat Bivol, and I love Bivol, but I think Terrence Crawford will
No,
beat Bivol.
I don't think he beats Bivol.
Terrence Crawford beats. You think Terrence Crawford would beat Bivol? No, stop
way.
it. Stop it.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't see that
So-
happening.
You
So
see,
I-
you see Bivol. Who you think wins? Terrence Crawford or Bivol?
I go Bill.
I gotta go Bivol.
Yo.
What's going on
You like.
Bill, come on.
Wait. You. So, okay.
Again,
So,
regardless
again,
of weight, I'm
he's
talking
still
about the
out-
skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if Bevo even were to, if you were able to drop
Mhm.
to Terrence, I think he'd still beat him. It'd be a good fight.
Right.
I think he'd still
That'd be
beat him.
great. I think that would go 12.
Because we seen.
No one's crazy. I'm not saying you guys are crazy. I love Bivol. I can see it, but if I had to pick, I would have to go with
Let's back to the original question though.
yeah.
What was the original question? Terrence Crawford at 175.
Oh, I didn't
No,
get to you
no.
guys.
If,
Canelo.
Bud,
Is the weight going to be a problem?
Yeah, is the weight gonna be a problem? What do you, everybody, what do y'all think? I'm gonna say yes.
Yes, I say yes.
I
Weight's
think
not a
so.
problem. I think he's going to run out of gas, and if not only that, just so you don't know. Like speed is different, your body different, so I think that's going to be a big problem for him. But if he wins that fight, do we give him credit to say he's the best fighter in the world?
I'd have to.
Yes.
Because he jumps up 3 weight division
Yeah,
and takes
I would have
down
to give it to him.
arguably the top in the class.
Yeah, we have to do that.
I have to.
And it hurts me because again, I call stuff like it is. So I'm an Errol Spence guy, and he beat my guy, and I'm very upset about it still. But if he beats Canelo, then
best fighter in the world.
today,
Who else would you? Bivol still?
No.
Bivol's a hell of a fighter.
I mean, he got my. He didn't get my attention when he beat Canelo, but after his little,
Better
He got
beef?
my attention after that.
he got my attention after Better Beef.
I agree. Listen, let's talk a little basketball here. A lot on the table. I'm a New York Knicks guy, so I like to start off with that. JB is down. He's not back yet.
Harrison, we lost to the
I
Charlotte
thought that we had adrenaline in those first couple of games. We played really well. We had a couple of good wins there, and it kind of seemed like right now, I guess, the true Knicks, I guess, if you would, of what we have is coming out, and it looks like we're going to have a tough stretch. I don't think the news is good on JB even coming back anytime soon. I don't know if you guys heard anything lately about it. I think the last person you told me.
Last thing I heard was that they added an additional 2 weeks.
Right.
He's not gonna be back in the playoffs.
And
It
then
looks like
because-
he's gonna be pushing like the last 2 games of the
a
season.
big
Yeah,
problem.
that I don't know if we beat Detroit. Oh my god. Without
Really?
JB, yeah.
Without JB, I agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because we're losing to
Detroit
Charlotte Hornets by like 30.
Knicks without JB. What are we thinking, Matt?
I'm worried. I'll be honest, I'm worried.
Yeah.
I mean, this just shows us, right, like the value of a point
I
guard,
totally agree.
right? Isaiah and I were having this conversation not too long ago about the value of the point guard,
Yeah, I agree.
right? And
Oh yeah.
you need your point guard, right? Without your point guard, your offense doesn't run the same.
Yeah.
Before Brunson, right? If we look at the years before that,
Yeah.
our main problem was we don't have a point guard.
Yes. For
Let's
many
go-
years.
Let's go
Point
find a
guard
point
hunting
guard,
for a
Many
long
years.
time.
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so we can say that Brunson was that missing puzzle
He
piece.
was. He was.
And
He
now that
is.
we don't have him, those problems are starting to come
He
up
is.
again.
Right.
And I eat a little bit of, I can eat that and say, I didn't think I know Jalen Brunson is good, but I did not know he was as good as he is. He is a hell of a basketball player. And certainly, I'm not saying he is, but certainly can be in the conversation for MVP this
I
year.
agree.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
I agree, but it sucks. I think he's like less than 10 games away from being exempt from everything. So if he stays out, he might not even get an
That's a
All-NBA
shame.
selection.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I think he's played 61 games, so he might be like four games out.
That's a shame. Look, so is the Detroit Pistons looking like that could be our first round? Is that what we're saying?
Looking like
I
it.
don't want to say that, but
Can the Detroit Pistons beat the New York Knicks with Jalen Brunson
No.
at half?
No.
No.
I think we just need Jalen
No.
there.
not a sweep, but there's no way they beat
It'll
us.
go
As long as
six.
Jalen Brunson is playing, we're gonna say
We win.
okay. I mean, look,
But even if we get through, we got to play Boston. That's a sweep. If we don't have JB,
we
that's a
get.
sweep.
Oh yeah. With Jalen
Without
Brunson.
We
that's
play-
a sweep. For sure.
With Brunson, we might take
we
him
play the
6.
Cavs or we play
What-
Celtics.
what? Who wins that? If Jalen Brunson is
The
playing?
Celtics. I'm saying we might take them to 6 though.
Oh, I thought you said we'll take them in 6.
No, absolutely not.
No, we play Cleveland.
Even worse.
Oh,
we
speaking
play
of-
Cleveland because it's 1 and 8. Then at the bottom is 2 and 7.
Oh, yeah.
Then above them is 4 and 5. Then above them is 3 and 6. So Cleveland, Knicks, whoever
Well,
Celtics.
that brings us up right on key. Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, we didn't finish the Knicks.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to say that
Right.
Carl.
Oh.
What's his
Anthony
contract?
Towns.
How many? He has another year here.
Yeah, he got multiple
Yeah.
years.
Cat-
Yeah,
I think
The
2
Cats
years
are-
more.
I'm done.
that's a
with
bold statement.
You're done with Cat?
that. I think he should. I think he should be gone.
Okay.
Wow.
Like he's having a great season, but he's clearly not our guy to be, the 1-2 punch with Jalen Brunson. Let's be honest. I mean,
I'm gonna have to agree. But I've been on the case from day one. I don't like Karl Anthony Towns, but I give credit where credit is due. He has impressed me this year. I love the numbers he's putting up, but it's just something about that dude. And frankly, with JB being out, I think you kind of seeing it. Like,
He's not
I
enough.
don't, do you think
He's
it's?
not that
Do you
guy.
guys think? Okay, is Karl Anthony Towns a soft player?
is he
No.
soft?
No.
Yo.
He toughened a little bit.
Okay.
when he
Because
came to
you
New
say it
York.
yourself all the time.
He
Yo,
gets
that
pounded.
dude be getting hacked
He
in the
gets pounded.
paint,
He gets
bro.
pounded.
But he complains. Don't get me wrong, but he'll finish strong. Like he doesn't completely throw himself on the floor like a moron.
Yeah, but
He'll
gets
try to
pounded.
get the and one.
Yeah, he gets a beating in that post. I don't know. I'm just not confident in Karl Anthony.
Yeah,
Do you think he's off?
Here
Mm,
we go.
Matt, you think he's soft?
Absolutely not.
You done with Cat too? Be honest.
No.
you're a cat guy.
I'm a Cat fan, He's Dominican, so, I got to stand with him. But
Yeah, no, I respect that. I don't know, man. It's just something. But you know what it is? I just feel, again, I have a lot of respect for him because I really was down on him when he came here. He was one of the guys that I was kind of like, I'll take anybody else except for. And they'll tell you, I'll take anybody in the league except for. I was distraught when we got him. But he has really proven to me he's great in the post. He's not taking those threes like he was taking in the past. That's one of my biggest problems with him. I don't like 7-footers shooting 3-pointers. He's toned that down. So I'm very impressed with that. But my issue is I don't feel confident that when the game's on the line,
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns
can
getting the
do
rock.
it. That's the problem. That's
Absolutely
my
not.
only problem with him.
Absolutely not.
Because the guy's putting up, you can't say nothing about the guy's putting up 30 and 10. He's doing his thing with the numbers, but I feel like Anthony Edwards used to say that about him. Like, yo, if Karl is doing his thing, we can't really be beat. But he used to look at him like, but,
He don't really be doing.
sometimes he don't always do it. You know what I mean? When he does, he's tough.
That's why our roster last year was so perfect.
I agree.
The roster last year was
The roster.
perfect.
Oh my
And we
god.
had JB at
Before
the
or
one.
after the McHale
We
trade?
huh?
Before or after the McHale?
No, Bridges is big. Bridges is big.
Who did we give for Mikhail?
Bogdanovich.
No, that's fine.
Whatever. Like we had JB at the 1,
Mm-hmm.
Dante at the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Who's at the?
OG.
I guess Bridges would be
Well, last season we had OG at 3
OG at
and
the
Randall
3.
at
Who was in
Randall.
the deal for Karl Anthony Towns?
Randall and Devo.
Dante, yeah.
I want Dante back.
So,
They can keep
in light
Randall.
of the year that Karl Anthony Towns has had, this is a good question.
I would take back the ship.
No.
You would take the trade back?
Well,
I don't think I would. Obviously, you wouldn't.
no way.
you gotta stick with your.
You know what? I have to agree with Matt on this one. In that,
I think the Knicks won the trade.
I think the Knicks won the trade.
I'm not saying they didn't want to trade, but listen, we'd have the same roster and Mikhail Bridges.
That's a very
that's-
good point. That's a
And
very
we'd
good
have
point.
we'd have a good bench.
We
Josh
have a
Hart
good
would be
bench.
bumped
Josh Hart
down to
go
the
back
bench even.
Devo would probably
That's the key word.
back on the
You
bench,
just said
too.
you just said a key thing,
what?
and I think that's where the Knicks wasn't sure about him.
How
He's
would
good.
we?
I know you guys are going to attack me on that one, but he's good. But I think the Knicks weren't sure about Divinchenko. It was like, I don't know. He's good.
He averaged 15 points in the season and then averaged 25 when all our players got injured in the playoffs.
I think this just shows us the importance of a system.
Right.
Right? I mean, look at DiVincenzo's numbers.
Now?
Incredible drop off.
Yes,
Yep.
that's
Right.
my thing.
I think if you plug him back on this roster,
I agree.
think
I agree.
he goes back to being who he was.
I
before.
agree. I agree.
Everybody
I
gets
agree.
better when they come in the Knicks.
I agree. Not necessarily.
No,
No,
not
no,
necessarily.
I'm telling you, like
Well, look at the boy. Your
Isaiah
boy.
Hartenstein looked like a star on the Knicks.
What's your guy? You guys love him.
Melo?
No. The kid on Indiana. What's the kid on Indiana?
Halliburton?
No. The guy that can jump.
Obi
jump.
Toppin?
Yeah.
Obi
He didn't look good here, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and I was never.
Mhm.
He just progressed, honestly.
He just got
And you
better.
watch that boy they traded, he's gonna be much better. Sims.
Jericho Sims.
Yes.
He's been playing pretty decently.
He's gonna have a good career.
I don't know.
But I
forgot
agree.
about RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett would have been
Yeah.
lost it too.
Gone. He wasn't that great. I wasn't
Yeah,
impressed with him.
I'm fine
We
with
spent
that.
3 years with him, and I felt like he got no better.
System is very important, and in the game of basketball. And I say this all the time that's why I think a lot of the guys in the NBA don't progress, because when you're in a system, as a player, you should start looking at like, okay, what shots are going to be there for me, and that's how you get better. That's how you grow. I think the Golden State Warriors kind of grew in that way. Guys like Klay Thompson saw, even Draymond is crazy, but Draymond saw, all right, within this team, I know what I have to do. Everybody knows. If Draymond went to another team,
He's not the same.
he's not going to be the same player. But give him credit. He knew, like, all right, on this team with these shooters, I know what I can do. And I can carve out something. And quite frankly, is Draymond Green, is Draymond going to be a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
First ballot,
Yeah,
sure.
let's be honest.
Yeah, first ballot.
First ballot. If he
Yeah,
was
so-
on another team,
No, we're not.
he
We're not even
probably
talking
wouldn't be
about
in the
that.
league at this point. You know what I mean?
No, we're not
So,
talking about that.
but he within the system, he actually has a Hall of Fame career. Let's talk about the Cavs. 3-game slide.
Who were the three?
Not the
games?
right time. I think they lost to
Something
a
like that.
couple teams. I think they lost to Orlando.
They did lose to Orlando.
Yeah.
That game was crazy.
Not
they,
the
they
right
was
time.
Talking, man.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Not the right time to
I saw
go into a
Donovan
slip.
Mitchell though. He was talking about it.
What did he say?
I think he was talking about how he wasn't playing good, like the leader, like him as a leader. He wasn't doing
He
well.
had 8 points on 0 for 8 last night against
Donovan Mitchell had 8 points.
8 points, so something like that against the Phoenix Suns.
JB. Stop that. But yeah,
Yeah, 7
but
points.
Yeah,
7
My
points,
mistake.
0 for 8 from 3.
but yeah, he was talking about how obviously when the leader isn't playing well, they're not going to be doing good. And he feels like the losses are basically on him.
That's true.
Clearly, because he went out for 8.
That's true.
That's
There's no doubt about
embarrassing.
it. I had to double take this here. Somebody wrote on my paper. The Rockets got a 9-game win streak.
Yep.
Really?
Rockets, I like that.
The Rockets
And
are
they just got one of
nice.
their, just got,
one of their
which
stars.
Which one is it?
Amen.
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 Who is
Thomas.
that?
Remember the kid I said I liked him? He was a rookie last year. He was watching the game. Rockets are a sneaky team. Y'all gotta look out for
So
them.
where do the Rockets fit in the scope of the Western Conference, Matt?
I mean, where do they stand right now, Isaiah?
Did it 2?
Second? I mean,
They're
Second?
the second.
second.
They're the second seed, and they're up like 3 games.
Okay, so let's put that in the context now of playoff basketball. Do we really? Obviously, that's impressive. Do we really think that they can make a splash and beat a Denver and beat a
They would
OKC?
verse.
Who?
They would go up against.
Yes.
No,
Absolutely not.
they're just too young. They would go up against the Clippers first round.
Risky?
That's a problem.
Which Kawhi, I assume at that point Kawhi will be playing all games.
might be a
Kawhi's been
problem.
on and off with
That-
games, but when Kawhi does play,
Matt, do they beat the Clippers?
I don't think so.
Wow.
That
I don't
might,
think
that,
they can.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that
there's
may
no
go
bet
south.
on that team.
Wow.
Yeah.
there's, right, I think they're too young. They're
There's
great.
no experience.
Don't get me wrong, but you
Wow.
said the same thing. That's kind of what OKC experienced
Okay.
last year. They're young.
That-
It's a young
That
team.
may go 7.
That may go
Uh,
7. But
What
I
is
would-
going on over there?
I
Who do
would've-
they have? What's going on?
Houston?
Yeah.
Yo,
They have a
Jalen
lot of
Green,
good-
Sengun is having an incredible season.
Sengun, the baby Jokic, they call him.
Baby
Sengun,
Jokic.
Jabari Smith, Amen Thompson, Fred Van Vliet,
I know Van Vliet.
Dylan Brooks. That's 6 right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Tari
like,
Eason is playing really good.
like
Cam Whitmore.
they low key, they got playoff, and they got some players with playoff experience.
Of course.
And they got Freddie
Yes.
Van Vliet, who
Of course.
won
Yeah,
a chip.
championship.
Won a
Yeah,
chip.
yeah, championship. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's Fred Van Vliet.
But
That's
what,
true.
what are you talking
Fred Van Vliet.
Bro, come on.
He's a great player.
he was
but he's
sig-
not going to lead it.
But he was very significant in the.
He was. He had a
in
great
the
series.
Toronto
He
one.
did. He
The
did.
Toronto
Okay, but Toronto had Kawhi Leonard, who was also.
No. You can't.
No,
he's
he
right.
was
Yeah.
very
You
significant.
can't take that away
saying.
from him. He was sensational.
But you're dumping on the guy like
I'm not dumping on. I'm saying he's not enough to carry this Rockets team.
I'm not saying he's gonna carry them, but I'm saying his experience is gonna be a good help.
So with that being said, then what are we thinking with the West Conference? We'll put Matt on the spot again, 'cause we kind of covered that. I think the West is really, to me, totally unclear. I don't know what is going on. Like, what are you thinking? And when the playoff picture breaks down, who do you think? Again, you got Denver, who's the champions, who has been champ. I mean, OKC is just that team that you're like, is this it? Are they gonna have the experience now to kind of break through? They went far, and I'm gonna tell you another dark horse who's playing really well right now.
LA.
My guys, no, Minnesota.
Oh,
I love
where they
Minnesota.
They're at the 8th spot.
and
AC.
they've been. I think they probably won out of eight of the last 10.
Yeah.
So they've been playing really well. So
They're 8 for 2.
and they have great. I mean, they made a hell of a run last year in the playoffs. So they're not going to be, wet behind the ears in terms of them going to the playoffs. So how do you see the Western Conference playoffs shaping up?
I think that's a great take by you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see OKC. I don't see the Rockets.
Wow.
You don't see OKC?
I don't.
Who you got coming out the West? Don't you gonna say LA, aren't you?
Really?
LA took the 3 seed.
I would love to say LA, but I think the Nuggets might go back. I mean,
I don't think so.
I agree with him.
I don't see anyone stopping Jokic
Yeah, I
for
agree.
one,
I don't think so.
right? I mean,
Please.
number 1 and number 2, right? You have the Thunder, the Rockets.
Mhm.
No, there's not much experience right there. I will say the Rockets, and I feel like no one has really said this, but Ime Udoka, their head coach, Boston.
It's true. The guy's good. No
So-
question.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that does help them out. But if I had to,
I mean,
I'm gonna go with the Nuggets.
at the end of the day, the game comes more than just Jokic.
You guys,
No. They got a good team, man. They got a good
I'm
team.
not saying they have a bad team, but if you're talking team wise, in the West,
Don't say the
OKC
Lakers.
has
You guys got to give
OKC has the best
Huh?
team.
Yes, that's
So
what
they're
I'm saying.
stopping the Nuggets.
I agree.
Yes, did you? Okay,
I think
I'm
the
not
OKC
saying the
stops the
Knicks are
Nuggets.
comparable to the Denver Nuggets, but did you see what they did to us? I mean, they just
Who?
Oklahoma. I mean,
Oh,
when
yeah,
they are
dominated.
on the point, they just completely dismantle you guys.
Well, hold on.
From first quarter
Hold
to
on.
fourth.
Hold on.
BTA.
When we played them down there, we almost beat them.
Who?
When the Knicks played OKC in Oklahoma City, that was a heck of a game. The Knicks
All right,
almost
we
won.
got fried
All right,
by
take
Aaron
it back to the
Wiggins.
Garden. We got fried. I mean,
That's one game.
No,
That's
no,
one
no,
game.
It's a
stop it.
7-game series,
No,
though.
I understand that, but the way that they played.
But what are you
against
saying?
them,
What are you saying?
You
I'm
think we got
saying-
a chance?
Who? Us? No.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Thunder. I'm saying if the Thunder plays like how they've been playing in the regular season and in their
Yes.
really good games,
You can't eliminate
there
them.
is nobody in the West or the Eastern Conference that is going to stop
Look,
them.
with OKC and Denver, they both got 2 players that are unstoppable.
Denver got the MVP though, but
Both of them are. It's literally going to be between the 2 of them for MVP. So both of them will cancel each other out, like you always
Matt,
like to
who's the
say.
MVP? We went over this last week.
I'm taking Jokic.
Dang.
I recently heard a stat. If you take Jokic's MVP season, his numbers, if you compare it to right now, he's doing better right now than his MVP season. How do you not give it to the guy?
We can't argue that question. I don't know, man. Okay, see, I can't argue with you. They look like they're ready to go, but it's just always interesting to see a team finally break through. I wouldn't dismiss them. I can't dismiss OKC.
you absolutely can.
Yeah,
No
I
way.
can't
No
dismiss them. I can't dismiss them. I really can't. I know you keep screaming the Lakers. What do you guys think
I
about the
never said
Lakers?
the
Never said
Lakers.
the Lakers.
Oh, somebody
Well,
keeps saying
all
Lakers.
I said was that the Lakers, they're up. They're a 3 seed now.
Anybody think the Lakers can make a serious
Yes.
push?
A push?
Absolutely.
Obviously,
Absolutely.
obviously on paper, there's no
Absolutely.
way
A
you
healthy
can-
team, I think.
You can count out
Yeah,
Luka
there's
Doncic
no
and
way. And LeBron, James.
But honestly, after that, star 3 is kind of just.
Yeah,
And
that's
Austin
correct.
Reeves.
That's a
Bunch of
problem.
nobodies.
I agree. I agree.
But
That's true.
I agree.
But what Denver got? Who's Denver star 3?
Jokic,
Jokic.
Jamal,
Murray.
probably
And
Michael Porter
Michael
Jr.
Porter,
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon.
I mean, he got a good team.
That's a
I
good
think Jokic's got. I feel like Denver Nuggets have a good team, and again, proven championship. Another team now that I want to get into, also champion. What do we think is going to happen with the Milwaukee Bucks?
No.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you see, you guys just like I'm
Wait,
telling.
who they got
I'm
first?
telling you guys,
They gonna make it past the first round.
a Damian Lillard when there's something on the line.
You can't deny that.
This guy is
You
the
can't
best
deny that.
player to touch a basketball.
Yeah, you can't.
Forget
whoa,
Michael-
whoa,
forget-
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no.
whoa, whoa.
I'm telling you
Whoa,
right now.
This guy goes too far.
No, I'm not going too far.
He goes too far.
I'm not
man.
going too far.
Going too far, man.
He is.
Take
He's
it
bet-
easy.
when
Take
there
it
is
easy.
something on the line, when there's something to win, there is nobody in this world.
Currently, you're saying. Let's
No,
play this up.
I'm not saying currently.
That sounded crazy.
Let's
I'm
just
saying.
Hold on.
No,
Hold on. You got
let me
something.
finish. My God, there is nobody in this
This is a
world that
little
can
crazy.
stop Damian Lillard. Let's be honest.
Bro.
Yeah, he'll take a 3, hand up or not. You could smack the guy in the face. He's gonna make it.
So hold on. You got something on the line. And you need a star player. You picking Damian Lillard or LeBron James?
Damian Lillard.
No way.
Damian Lillard or Michael Jordan?
Damian Lillard.
Homo.
When it's something on the line. Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard or Kobe Bryant?
Damian Lillard. Let me explain
Listen,
something.
he's clearly a big Damian
Let me
Lillard
explain
guy,
something.
you know.
Let me explain something. What?
I see you're clearly a big Damian Lillard guy.
I'm not a
Nothing
big
wrong with
Damian Lillard guy. I'm just giving him respect, which you guys
Who's
can't
your guy?
That's
see.
Glaze.
Who's your guy?
Steph Curry.
Yeah, but
So
Go ahead.
Dame over Curry, the last shot.
Oh, that's a good one too. Would you say
No,
Dame
wait.
over Curry?
we're not gonna talk about that. But what I'm saying is,
Okay.
you're giving Dame someone like Giannis who already has a championship. What seed are they?
5.
Damn.
Like, come on. Realistically, if they
You
get
can't
out,
take nothing away from Milwaukee, though. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
take nothing away
Nah,
from
nah,
them.
never mind.
I mean, when you have
you
Giannis
taking it
as
back?
your
Hold on,
captain,
hold
no way.
on. You taking it back?
No.
No, you taking it back, right?
Yeah, they
Who are they playing?
They're getting second rounder.
They're playing the Pacers,
They're going to beat the Pacers.
They're gonna beat the
I said
Pacers.
they're getting second rounder.
and if they beat the
So they
Pacers,
go-
they have to go up against the Celtics because the
Okay.
Celtics. Let's be honest, they're not going to
They're
lose.
getting second
Yeah,
rounder.
no.
Celtics are going to be tough to beat. Let's be honest, the Celtics are probably coming out of the East again. Anybody got a problem with that?
You
I
think?
do.
You think
Coming
Celtics
out the
versus
East?
Cavs?
Yes.
Crazy, you're crazy.
Celtics versus Cavs. You
I
got.
take Cavaliers.
Celtics.
I'm taking the Celtics.
You taking the Cavaliers over
Again,
Celtics?
Man. I
You
can't
too?
win. I can't
I take the
win.
Celtics.
I'm
I
taking
got
the
the
Celtics.
It's
Donovan
the
Mitchell
three.
has a
Oh.
problem of just running out of gas in the playoffs. It's
Yeah,
happened
look,
I
year
saw
after
Celtics
year.
have a deeper team.
The Celtics look really good. Who? They're number one? No, what seed is
Celtics.
Celtics? Number one seed?
No, they're 2. Cavs
It's the
are 1.
Cavs.
But Celtics
Yeah, I'm
coming
concerned.
off the championship. Y'all want to say the same thing about Denver? We can say the same thing about the Celtics.
I'm definitely concerned about, and I'm going to have to eat my words again. I'm concerned a little bit with Cleveland and Ant-Man. Spider.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't don't have a lot of confidence in them going into the playoffs. Do you?
Yes.
Who? Cleveland?
Yeah, he's saying he thinks Cleveland versus Milwaukee.
Cleveland. In
Cleveland.
4. No, 5.
Watch your mouth.
Five, five,
Four
five,
is
five.
crazy.
Watch your
You
mouth.
think
I just said
Cleveland
not 5. Relax.
You think Milwaukee beats Cleveland?
No.
You think it's going 6?
I would say 6.
I say 5.
7.
No
7?
way.
So you got Cleveland coming out of the East,
Yeah.
but you think that Donovan Mitchell's a bum?
When? Like, when did I say that?
That's what he told
I'm
me.
sorry.
He told me this. He told me this upstate in Buffalo.
I'm sorry. When did I say this?
In Buffalo, you told me he's a bum.
He was talking about he was a bum.
No, I was saying he wasn't a top 10 player in the league.
I never said Donovan Mitchell was a bum. I gave him respect. Come on.
Is Donovan Mitchell
Freddie,
top 10 in the league?
No.
Watch it. Be careful.
No.
Is he top 10 in the league? I mean, I think he's top 5 at his position.
Is he top 10 in the league?
Answer the question.
This
I'm gonna
season?
say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
He's top 10?
I would say yes. Who's in front of him?
Clearly,
I'ma
Mac
give him
will
a
be
list.
on
Hold
this.
on.
We'll be on this exact next week.
Tell me who's in front of him.
No, I'm not going to say Messi.
What?
Who's having a better season? Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James. Season. Individual season. Who's having a better season?
Donovan Mitchell.
LeBron is 40 though.
You serious?
LeBron's 40,
LeBron just won-
averaging
LeBron just
30
won-
since.
LeBron just won Player of the Month.
Donovan Mitchell didn't get played a month this year?
Did he?
Of course he
Once.
did. Of
Come on,
course.
At
come
least
on.
once
Stop
a
that.
month.
Look it up. Please
Look
look
it
this
up,
up.
look it up.
I don't
All right,
know,
hold
'cause
on.
this guy needs
Donovan
to-
Mitchell or Kevin Durant?
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
I'm not gonna lie, Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell or Steph Curry?
Curry.
Curry.
Okay, that's one. That's a definite one.
No.
Braun was
LeBron
iffy.
is a
Braun
def-
was, okay,
LeBron is
listen.
definite.
I'm basing it off what
It's
Matt's
just this
saying.
guy.
Okay.
So Braun's iffy. So that's one.
Okay.
Jokic.
Jokic.
Luka.
Luka.
Brunson.
Whoa.
Come on.
This
Come
year?
on.
Yeah, you saying this year Donovan Mitchell's
Jokic
better than
over Spider Mitchell.
Oh, you said no.
No, Luka.
it's
Luka
Luka.
or Donovan Mitchell?
Luka.
I'm still taking Luka.
I'm still taking Luka.
Honestly.
Stop it.
What?
This year.
This year?
Luka played 5 games this year. What are we talking
Are you
about?
okay? He's played. All right,
It's
bro.
He just got injured and then he got traded. What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about yes. You guys said this year. I didn't say it's Luka better.
Yes, we are talking about this year.
Nah, you can't do that. Guys, help me out, please. Somebody call into the
Who else is
show.
on that?
Jalen
It's
Brunson.
ridiculous.
Oh, that's a good one.
Jalen Brunson.
I think Jalen Brunson's having a better season, and you're clearly seeing it by the way his team is
Jalen
True.
Brunson.
pooping the bed.
We'll go Brunson.
All right, so it's on the list,
But there's
we might
not
have
10
to,
people
listen,
in front of him, so he's top 10.
I'm not done. Who's having a better season, him or Tyrese Maxey before Tyrese Maxey got injured?
Tyrese Maxey.
Yo, do you know who Tyrese Maxey is?
Of course I do.
So
No, you don't.
Donovan
Have
Mitchell
you
or
ever
Tyrese
watched
I'm
it?
in
Maxey?
Philadelphia. I know
Hold on.
Tyrese Maxey.
Donovan
So
Mitchell.
you can watch him live on Saturday. You can
I'm
see
gonna
what
take
Tyrese
Tyrese
Maxey's
Maxey.
about.
But
Okay.
the
Is he
question
injured?
was top
Maxey's
10.
hurt.
Is he?
I didn't
top 10
name
player?
top 10 players ahead of Donovan Mitchell.
Tatum.
Tatum.
So yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns. I know he's gonna get mad at that one. Karl
No,
Anthony
I'm
Towns
going
is he better?
Spider-Man.
Ant-Man. That's not a damn. That's a damn.
Ant-Man.
I'm thinking Ant-Man, no?
Ant-Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Giannis.
Come on.
Right now?
Yeah. Stop it, man. Come on. Stop.
Right now?
Stop it.
Come on.
Yo,
Matt,
yo, like,
stop.
I can't with you.
I kind of want to go Spider.
What?
Thank
Is he not? Is he not like fourth
Matt,
ranked?
listen.
Is he not fourth ranked in MVP right now?
Who?
Giannis?
Yes.
Who said that? Oh, do you
The
guys agree?
NBA.
But the question was
Well,
who's having
okay.
the better season.
Wait a minute. Do you guys agree with Giannis is fourth in NBA ranking in terms of MVP?
Who's behind them?
Yeah. Well, Jokic,
Tatum.
Oh,
It's
Tatum's
Jokic.
I'm saying who's
It's Jokic.
under
Oh,
Giannis.
so right now, it's SGA, Jokic.
Okay.
I think Giannis is 3 actually. And then Tatum, and then Donovan Mitchell at 5.
I think that list is fine. I wouldn't move Giannis.
So
up
you're
there.
saying Giannis is better than Donovan Mitchell? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all I needed. Now this one we can talk about. Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker
No, come on.
This season,
this season,
Donovan Mitchell, without a doubt.
and then
And I love Devin Booker. I think he's a top 5 shooting guard in the NBA.
Yes.
the last one I had on the list was SGA. We don't need
Oh,
to think
yeah.
about that one.
So what? So what's that? Put him.
Still
I
top
don't
10.
Like,
We didn't say
around-
10.
yeah,
Dude,
like the bottom.
you're gonna tell me that Donovan Mitchell is better than Giannis when he's averaging 30, 11, and 6?
Damn.
I'm just not a Giannis guy. So
Okay, but
I
you're not a
need-
Giannis
okay,
fan,
okay,
but
here's that-
realistically, who's better?
all right, you guys want to say Giannis? I'll say Giannis.
No, not if you guys want to say better. Looking at the stats,
Right
who's
now.
having a better season?
It's Donovan Mitchell right now.
Then Giannis? He just read you his stats.
Those was Giannis stats?
Yes.
Yeah, 30, 11, and 6.
30, 11, and 6. That's almost a triple double. Now I'm going to give it to Giannis.
All right.
I'm going to stand on it.
Guy's out of his mind today.
I'm not a big Giannis guy.
Next.
So, yeah. I'm sorry. Well, you guys want to go around? Let me get to this one. We'll finish with that. This is something that came up to me. Zion Williams. Where do we think he's going to end up? Because my take on it was this kid is playing. And they're letting him play now. And he's really not doing anything surprising, but I think we're finally getting a chance to see just how good this dude is. But the problem with the league, including us, the New York Knickerbockers, is what do you give up?
I'm giving him Cat.
What do you give up?
I'm giving him Cat.
I'm giving up
I know
Karl
Matt.
Towns.
I got to give it. For Zion, I'm giving him Cat.
The only person that I wouldn't give up for Zion would be
Brunson.
JB.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
But I
Everybody
can't
else can
count on Zion.
That's the problem.
go. That's
It
what
doesn't
it is.
stay healthy. Do you know he's going to show up?
We don't know.
he's
It's
going
a
to
risk.
show up or not.
But there's a reason why this guy went #1 in the draft. Everybody
There's
knew
no
his
doubt
name
about it.
before he even
There's no doubt
entered the
about it.
league.
No doubt about it.
And there's a reason why he looks as good as he does when he
There's
plays.
no doubt about it.
Zion Williamson thinks he can play
I
all these games.
I would. This is going to be a bold statement.
Oh boy.
I think me and Aaron might be on the same page with this one, but Zion healthy, he's definitely top 3 in the league, in my opinion.
Top
Sustainably,
three?
yes.
Yeah.
Your point is very valid. He goes all the way down because we can't depend on him. But if he played 75
Top
games,
3.
I
think
think
that's a
Zion
stretch.
is
You
top
serious?
That's a stretch.
Name the three.
You
that
can
would
make
be
an
better
argument
than
for top 5.
No.
I think
Name
it's
the
top
two that
three.
you think would be better than Zion.
Jokic? Yes or no?
Jokic.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Okay.
SGA, yes or
Okay.
no?
Okay.
That's my second.
Oh,
Oh, wait, let him finish.
What?
Let him finish. Come on.
A healthy Luka, yes or no?
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Come on.
no,
Jason
Are you
Tatum,
serious? Absolutely not.
Giannis.
No.
no.
Yo, like
Are you gonna take a healthy Giannis over a healthy Zion?
Yes. Oh, wait, say it again.
You
A
can take
healthy Zion and a healthy Giannis. Which one do you take?
Zion.
No.
No way.
Yeah.
You're like,
And I love Zion.
yeah, like
dude.
you
No
guys
way.
wasn't there. Like when I think he was playing like Dallas or something. Remember he was in the
This guy was
kitchen
going
watching it.
crazy.
Yo, this guy was dogging around everybody in the paint.
Crazy, yeah.
That's true.
I mean, he
Alright,
can literally get to the paint whenever he
Whenever he
wants.
wants.
The dude can play.
So
Don't
what's
get
the
me
problem?
wrong.
What's the
He-
problem?
He's not a top 3 player.
Wait, what do you think is,
Well,
is
you
keeping
basically-
Top
him?
5. I think he's a top
No,
5.
what do you think is keeping him from being top 3? Like, is there anything specific you think Or you
He's
just
out of
think,
shape.
I just think
He doesn't show up.
we said healthy.
healthy.
Healthy?
I just think he's just
Healthy.
not on
Healthy.
that type of level as those other guys.
So
that I
you think
mentioned.
that
Wait. When you make a statement like that, and both of you guys, when you guys are making a statement, are we basing that off? And you're fair if you're saying that. Are we basing that again off of? You made the point. The guy's not in shape. That's fair, and he's getting injured.
I'm talking health. If Zion were to play 82 games healthy,
He's not top
he's
three.
not top 3.
You guys are crazy.
Get out of
No
here.
way.
Nah, he's top 3.
So
He's
you
not
think
top 3.
Jokic, Shea?
Hold on, because the Shea one is bothering me. Y'all don't. You,
No,
not Shea.
So, we think we know the answer, but healthy Zion,
You think
healthy Shea, who you taking first?
the person who's leading the league in the MVP right now, Shea.
We're talking about, like, you're doing this again. We're talking about healthy.
Nah, I mean that depends
I'm
who's on my
taking
team.
Shea.
No, you starting your team.
You starting your team. You in 2K. You
You starting
doing
your
a
team.
fantasy draft.
Right.
You got a healthy Zion and a healthy Shea. Which player are you taking?
I'm gonna go Shea. You need a point guard.
Yeah, I know he's a point guard guy.
You need a point guard.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the point guard thing, but I just think for me, Zion is one of the more impactful players I've seen in the NBA in 20 years.
Without a doubt.
You get, and this is why I wanted him in New York, because I can feel it. You can be down 15. The Knicks can be down 15. Zion breaks one. He gets on the fast break. He comes down and throws it down with a 360 in Madison Square Garden. Whoever that team is, you lost. He has that impact of. That's why it's so disappointing. No disrespect to his current team in that city, but that's why it's so disappointing that this just so New Orleans just doesn't have any juice there. But you put him in a team like the New York Knicks. The energy here. To me, there's no one in the league that can do that. When he was with Duke, I haven't seen that again in 30 years. I never seen college basketball like that, where it was like everybody was coming to the games. He get that ball and throw it down on a fast break. You can't beat that. Shea is unbelievable, but I'm not gonna front. He can't do that.
Who Shea can do.
Nah, he don't have the impact. That
Absolutely
he
not.
He just don't. He's a really good player, man. Hall of Famer. MVP of the league, in my opinion.
Whoa, hold on. Still with that Hall of Famer stuff.
He's gonna be Hall of
By the
Famer.
end of his career, he'll
Yeah.
probably
Unless he gets hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if he
Calm
gets
down.
hurt. But he's MVP of the league, in my opinion. Or listen, one or two MVP of the league this year. I do think that Zion is that good. I think he's that much of an impact player that when he's healthy, I take him over anybody. And like you said, I empty my roster besides Jalen Brunson and bring him here. But I think he's going to go to Miami.
Why are you making that? So, would you give up OG and Michaela, say, for Zion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
You say,
disposable.
would you give up everybody on the team besides JB?
Yeah, they're disposable.
Everybody.
No offense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all agree
I
there.
think everybody that's a Knicks fan could agree with that.
I think we all agree there. But again, look, it's just hard. Match point is valid. It's just really hard because he's not. And you said something that I think is important. And this is the boys will tell you, I'm very disappointed because I feel just in the case of Luka, this injury stuff with him is just the fact that he's not in shape. And so if these guys are really getting real shape, I just don't think that he will be injured. Zion, he still has a belly. Your NBA player shouldn't have that. He should not have a belly. He's a young kid. It's true. He shouldn't have a belly. It's no good. And he's just a little bit too heavy, and that contributes to his injuries. Luka is the same thing. I think that's why again Dallas got pissed off and was like, "We had it with this dude. You're not getting in shape." That's a problem. You're getting hurt because of injuries. Is the thing that would scare me with Zion, because my God, you do make that trade. You give a Karl Anthony Towns OG for him, and this dude's playing 30 games.
20 games.
You want to
That's the
throw up.
problem.
Yeah, you want to get sick. So it's risky to do it.
Especially in New York. Yeah,
Oh my God! Everybody's gonna get fired. Let's be honest. We would get fired. We wouldn't even work for the Knicks if they did that. But I'm gonna do it though. I would pull the trigger on the trade. Let's close it out with what we're gonna now call the Matt segment, since he gave this to us. So he's gonna name it after him. This is the Matt segment. We're gonna go with tonight's games and go around the board.
What's the segment?
All right, so the first matchup we have is the Wizards at the Knicks.
Knicks.
What do we have?
At the Knicks.
At the Knicks?
Yep.
Yeah, I have the Knicks as well. I mean, even though we don't have Brunson, I'm still
Yeah, I think they
confident
should be.
in the
If they don't lose, if they lose this game tonight,
We're in deep trouble.
I'm,
we got a
yeah,
problem.
quit.
Yeah, we got a big problem.
I'm not gonna watch the next game until Jalen Brunson
I'm not gonna
comes
say
back.
that, but if they lose
I'm
tonight,
saying
it's a
that.
problem.
We already lost to
Because
Charlotte.
I'm very mad that we lost to Charlotte and we lost to the Spurs, who don't have De'Aaron Fox nor Wembanyama. That's ridiculous to me.
But that shows you the importance of a point guard.
Yes, no question, no question.
You're right.
I'm a big point guard guy as well.
Second, we have Warriors at the Hawks.
Warriors.
At the Hawks,
At the Hawks.
Warriors.
No Steph.
no Steph.
No Steph.
Uh,
Steph's not
let's
even in
confirm.
ATL.
Oh yeah, Steph didn't even. He's not even traveling with the
Steph
team.
didn't travel with the team.
Maybe
They're gonna
the Hawks.
reevaluate. They said
Is
reevaluate.
is what's his
I'm
name
still-
playing?
If Jimmy Butler's playing, I'm gonna take the Warriors.
What's
too.
the kid on Atlanta?
Trey?
Is he playing?
Probably.
Doesn't matter.
Trey Young is playing.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
taking the Warriors.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
I'll take the
I'm taking
Warriors.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm
You taking
taking
Atlanta?
too.
I'm taking the
Atlanta?
Warriors.
Right.
You guys got who you got?
Yo, like you guys are actually crazy.
So now we gotta watch this game
You
tonight.
guys are
Yeah,
actually
right?
crazy.
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler's playing, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Jimmy's playing.
Buddy should be playing, right?
Yeah.
But
You
he was
guys-
inconsistent though.
Stop it. This guy can shoot the lights out.
We're gonna
and
find
Jimmy
out.
Butler.
What time is it? We'll find out.
Crazy.
That's a 7 o'clock game.
We'll find
What time
out.
is it right now?
6:50.
Damn.
Is it really?
It
Goes
is,
on the
right?
TV up right here, guys. Live stream.
Third is Bucks at the Kings.
Bucks.
Bucks.
You guys are going Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Kings.
Okay.
I think the Kings are one of the most underwhelming
I
teams
mean,
of the season.
DeMar
But the kid is
DeRozan.
not back though, right? The kid, what's the kid? Sabonis?
Sabonis, when did Sabonis get hurt? I really have not been watching.
They have a really good
Sabonis
team.
is out,
Yeah, he's.
They have a really good team.
They have a really good team.
but there's no
regardless,
Damian Lillard.
He's coming.
Really?
Gary Trent is a game time decision.
but Is
Giannis is a game time decision.
That means they're playing.
Okay,
Let's
they
be
don't
honest.
play, yeah.
They're playing.
No Dame.
No Dame.
No Dame, no win.
Kings. Yeah, I think
Against the
won.
Kings?
Yeah. They have a good team, man.
The Kings are the favorite with 63%.
Okay.
They have
What's
DeRozan
their
and
record?
Levine.
The
Yeah,
Kings,
they're like the
the Kings are
Niners.
35 and 34.
Are they in the
Not bad.
playoffs?
That's not bad.
I think they play in.
I think
Probably
they're playing.
That's a little risky.
Okay.
That's a little dangerous team.
The last matchup, the Bulls at the Lakers.
I'm taking the Lakers.
I think LeBron's gonna play.
Oh,
tonight.
I don't. Are you sure? I don't know because Luca didn't play.
LeBron
last
is
game.
playing.
Is
Yeah.
Luca playing?
Yeah.
Luke is playing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Lakers got it.
I got
No
them as
question.
well.
easy.
I think he didn't play. I think they played last night, and I think he didn't play because he knew he was gonna come back tonight.
LeBron?
Yes.
He was supposed to play last night.
He was
I saw
wa-
him
he was
working
warming
out.
up.
Yeah, I saw him
We
working
saw
out.
him.
So he probably didn't want to do it back to back. So
Where did he play? Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, shot
Who
Brown.
won that game?
Yeah,
Probably
Bronny
got the
17.
Yeah.
Hold on.
17.
You
So
saw
let's-
Stephen A's apology?
let's close it out with that. We talked a little bit about that. We will close it out with this one. Let's go around the table one last time, and it's good. It's cool to have you win again. Before we forget, we want to thank Matt for coming in. His intake is always great. We appreciate his input. We will definitely have him back on here. So let's close it out with that one. LeBron James, I'll set it off and say that, you know what, we want to add a little addendum to what we talked about the last time. Not really change too much. I was just saying that I thought initially, like, Bronny is a man in the NBA, and so that's subject to criticism. So I really didn't necessarily like the fact that LeBron James jumped on Stephen A., which I'm not a big fan of Stephen A., because, look, that's just, it goes with the territory. But in light of the new information, me being a dad, and I think I did kind of mention that the other day, it's different in the context of what they're saying because, now that they're stating that, LeBron is angry because Stephen A. called out his parenting, which I think that's different.
Yeah.
That's different. If you're talking about, just ragging on Bronny's basketball skills, which LeBron is claiming that's what the case. I don't really care. If you say he sucks, it is what it is. But to call me out as a father and say that, I got my head up my behind as a dad, that's you crossing the line, and that deserves a punch in the face. So, thank you. Next.
Matt.
I mean, we spoke about this earlier. I'm on LeBron's side. I believe that this situation was handled publicly, so LeBron had every right to address him the way he did, and I'm seeing Bron over here.
Isaiah?
I mean, pretty much what you said. I know the last time we talked about it, we was like pro Stephen A., but I ain't really know. Bron wasn't really coming at him, stop talking about Bron. He's like, stop talking about me as a father, because I don't know. That's just insane. That's disrespectful. That's not okay. You coming for me. You coming for my family. You coming for me as a dad. That's not okay. So I'm with Bron on that one.
Aaron, last
I
word?
just think Stephen A. should shut his mouth. He even went on a podcast talking about what he did was soft.
That's true.
What
Right?
Braun did was soft?
No. Stephen A. Smith. I don't want to get too much into that, but
He said what LeBron did was soft.
Yeah.
What?
No,
That's
Personally, I think
crazy.
if you're gonna say something like that, you better say it to the guy's face that
Right.
it makes you look soft.
Right,
You know.
exactly. Right. What are you doing? You know, just
I just think Stephen A. should shut his mouth. Honestly, obviously, she shows no sign of stopping. And one of these days,
somebody's
it's
gonna
not gonna be
punch him in
good.
the face.
It's not gonna be good.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
agree.
good.
Somebody's gonna. Oh, listen. Hopefully, we don't condone violence, and hopefully, nothing happens. But gotta be careful sometimes what you say. Just gotta be careful. So again, thank you guys, everybody. Another great show. A lot of good information. We'll be right here again, back with the On Second Thought sports show. We're gonna let Isaiah close it out with all of the particulars because I don't.
If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Anybody got anything? Closing thoughts? Thanks again, Matt, for coming through, man. We
Yes,
hope to
thanks
see
for
you
having
again
me.
very, very, very soon. Aaron, anything? See you guys next episode.